This video is brought to you by HalloCasa. Our tool transforms independent local real estate agents to global real estate agents. Create your own profile for free and get contacted by international investors. Sign up with the link in the description. Hello and welcome everyone to our 180th session of HalloCasa. My name is Michael and today I'm talking to Dhiraj Merani from Hyderabad, India. Dhiraj has over 25 years of experience in digital marketing, and for almost the same time he has been working also for digital marketing and real estate. Dhiraj, I'm really pumped to have you on the show. Why don't you introduce yourself to our audience?
Thanks, Michael. Appreciate you having me on this podcast. So my name is Dhiraj Merani. I have been a real estate investor myself, and I have been into real estate marketing for almost over a decade now, or more than that, a lot more than that. And we have been catering to a lot of properties, builders and developers across India. Our primary market is in Hyderabad and Mumbai. We've got clients from Jaipur, Nagpur, and tier 2 and tier 3 cities also is where we are focusing right now with our real estate marketing.
Let's start from the beginning. You started a long time ago, especially in the context of digital marketing. Since then, digital marketing has evolved so much. Give us an overview on how it has changed so far until now.
So, Michael, marketing has always been the same, be it traditional. It's more moved towards digital right now. Digital marketing is evolving over the time. The latest being the AI overviews that have been coming up, but the fundamentals always in marketing remain the same. That's been if the fundamentals are strong, you keep changing the channels. It was Facebook, now it's Instagram. WhatsApp has started launching campaigns across it, but the spectrum, the channels will keep changing, but your communication will always remain the same. In a nutshell, if you are here, your brand still needs branding to go out there. With the channels changing, your approach would obviously change with it, and you keep evolving with it. And specifically to real estate, about 4-5 years back, LinkedIn was not a place for real estate. With the market dynamics changing, even LinkedIn we've started generating leads even from LinkedIn, and the positive percentage is like about 35 plus positive percentage is coming on LinkedIn right now. Yeah, market is evolving with time.
That means, to clarify, that means for real estate listing leads, or is it for digital services?
So this is for digital services when we go to builders and developers, when we do market for them. And also channel partners or brokers, they also can generate leads from LinkedIn now.
I have never had anyone from Hyderabad on the show. Why don't you give us an overview for anyone who has never been to India, maybe, and also anyone who has never been to Hyderabad? Myself, I've never been to India, unfortunately, so I'm really curious to hear your story. Give us a geographical overview there.
So let me start with Hyderabad, right? Hyderabad has seen across India, if you compare to a Gurgaon, which has very expensive properties compared to a Bangalore, compared to a Mumbai. Hyderabad is the fourth metro in India, and it has given a real estate appreciation when you compare it to a Mumbai or a Gurgaon, which is about like 20 to 25%. Hyderabad has given an 80% return in investments over here, which is phenomenal. Now it's plateauing because you cannot keep having growth consistently. It's still a stage of plateau, but still when you compare it to a Mumbai or a Bangalore, say if you compare it to a Mumbai, Hyderabad prices are still like a 50% less of Mumbai. You get a flat over here for about like 10 to 15,000 rupees a square feet, which is about like $200 USD, compared to a Mumbai, which is going to be like about 50,000 rupees a square feet, or a Gurgaon. So Hyderabad is still a very cheap market to invest in compared to any of the other cities. Hyderabad, it's tech forward city with deep cultural roots. It's known for the Nizami heritage, and biryani is very famous in Hyderabad, and it's having a rapid infrastructure growth right now. With the high-tech city, the Ramoji Film City, and these are the few attractions over here, which is flocking in people in. And economy is really fast growing. There are a lot of pharma hubs. Google has its hub in Hyderabad. Microsoft has its hub in Hyderabad. Amazon has its hub in Hyderabad. So a lot of startup culture is thriving over here, which is boosting the real estate primarily. Along with this are the transport, the expanding metros. They have these something called as ORR, outer ring roads, and IR, inner ring roads. These two have, anywhere there's the ORR connectivity, land prices have shot up 3x over there. So that's another thing that's really like fast pacing Hyderabad over here. And good connectivity to the airport. They have been significantly expanding the airport over here. In fact, they moved the airport from the city to the outskirts of the city. And now they are again, with the market developing so much, they are again restarting the old airport also, because that's the growth of the city right now. So in a nutshell, Hyderabad is the place to invest as of today.
Regarding the buying process, how complicated is it? And how many pitfalls are there if I try to invest or try to buy? Can you guide us through a little bit in maybe as an overview how we can imagine the buying process?
So buying process, if you go to a good builder or a developer, when it comes to flats especially, right? If you're getting a loan from a bank, that's one checkpoint of the legality, because even if a bank is giving you a loan, they have done all the due diligence on their end, right? There are some small builders who it goes shady at times. It may not be intentional, it may be because of the market dynamics at times. And but if you're going to a reputed builder, and that's where digital marketing and branding comes into picture, right? You build your brand and you build your authenticity out there. Buying process is not very difficult. You run an ad, you get a lead, you go for a site visit, all the paperwork is pre-done over there. You are connected to the banks who, based on your credit history, give you the loans, and the buying process is pretty smooth. Then you just go for your registration. Most of the developers and the builders take care of all the legwork, all the paperwork for you. You just go on the day of the registration, you sign the documents. It's about a 2-hour process over there, and bang, the sale deed is done.
Let's go back a little bit to Hyderabad and maybe some sub neighborhoods, like micro neighborhoods. I really like to dive deeper sometimes into, you just mentioned very interesting elements regarding the prices and also the difference over other cities in India and the affordability here on one hand, but also obviously the potential with all the corporate institutions and the startup vibes. Now,
Right.
thinking about interesting neighborhoods or maybe up and coming, something which is definitely already on top regarding the real estate prices. Can you
Right.
guide us maybe through and give us like some examples of neighborhoods where we say, okay, this is like already, this is luxury
Right.
element or luxury neighborhood, this is up and coming. This is, I don't know, we might not see anything moving during the next 10 years. Give us an
Right.
overview.
So to start with, the topmost areas in Hyderabad is Banjara Hills and Jubilee Hills. Now these are the luxury places, like these are the celebrity zones. You have like people who have built their bungalows and villas on their plots over here. And this area is like the prime in Hyderabad, right? After this is the emerging IT crowd, which is areas like Kokapet, Kondapur, Financial District, Gachibowli, Nalagandla. Now, these are the emerging IT crowds over here, wherein you have a huge supply of apartments, right? And the upcoming areas, especially for these are like hot areas when it comes to plotting and villa development, is Mokila and Shankarpalli, because these areas they fall under something called as Geo Triple One, and Geo Triple One is a government order 111 in which you can only construct less than 10%. So if you have an acre of land, you can have a construction of only 10% in it, because they fall around the water bodies over here. So they have a lot of restrictions around there. But there are few land parcels within this which are eligible for development out there. And they are like the rising market. They are the emerging markets out here, Shankarpalli and Mokila. And they're like the hotbed to invest as of today.
And regarding now, let's say the digital marketing trends, we come from, as you said before, we come from pay-per-click, we go to now more content maybe. We have the strong element regarding search, and search being
Right.
disrupted by Gemini or ChatGPT and other AI companies. Where do you maybe see the trends during the future? And what is more and more important in order to outrank maybe the competition? Because real estate listings is obviously normally always intent based.
Right.
So how do you move forward and where do you basically focus on right now in order to stay on top of the market?
So primarily, it's all going to be because PPC and Meta, Mark Zuckerberg, in one of his recent podcasts told, just pay your money and we will do everything for you. Everything is going to be completely AI driven. So primarily, all the PPCs and the interest-based targeting, the behavioral-based targeting, and all the technical piece of it is going to be completely taken over by AI in the next 1 year is what we feel. What is going to stay is the content. And when it comes to real estate, right? Yes, you just don't need to sell the square footage, you need to sell them the dreams. The video telling, the storytelling is where the content marketing comes into picture. Like we work with a real estate brand, which is only into senior living. Now, that was our most toughest project that we took over because to find the audience for a senior living place is literally finding like a needle in a haystack, right? And what worked for us over there is the testimonials, like the real people. Our video team went, they shot over there. People connect to people at the end of the day, right? And the storytelling, wherein one of the amenities that they had was emergency services. And this lady was in her 70s and she had a medical emergency and ambulance was on a call, and that's an amenity in that facility. When that lady came on camera and in the regional language, she shared her story over there. We ran those ads to the NRIs who are living in the US, the Indians who are living in the US in Hyderabad, from Hyderabad, and their parents live over here. And that worked like magic for us because people connect with people out there, and somebody telling the story out really works. Yeah, that works really well. And even the kind of communication that needs to go, its human brain is like either logical or it's emotional. And residential properties fall under emotional category. Like in India, with the market dynamics today, are both the partners are decision makers in it, but a woman is more of an influencer in the decision. If the financial decision, even though it's either taken by the man or it's taken jointly, the emotional connection will come from the women in making the decision for buying the house. And if you're selling a 4 BHK apartment, have a study room for your kid so that your kid has a brighter future. That's the kind of connection that you need to have in the emotions over there. So that's where it's changing with times. And Instagram stories work really well for this. We have the metrics called as the first frame rate, the hook rate, and the hold rate when we run our campaigns. So these are the metrics that we look at along with the storytelling, and that's where we've been able to excel it. And when it comes to Google in the last 4 months back, they have combined their demand gem and the YouTube ads. So that's a great story over there, where you can build your tofu, mofu, bofu funnel within Google, just like you could do it in Meta and sell your stories across Google and Meta. So yeah.
What is this funnel called? What is this?
So Google has combined YouTube and their demand gen into one right now. It's an update from Google. It is a pretty silent update from Google what they did. If you just go and research on it, then you come to know about it. But the funnel is called as, like we in our organization call it NOW, which is Network Outreach Workflow Framework, wherein it is tofu is the top of the funnel, mofu is the middle of the funnel, and bofu is the bottom of the funnel, right? At the top of the funnel, what we do is we take the cold audience and we show them like the amenities about the project and the lifestyle. In the middle of the funnel, we run the influencer and the testimonial videos. And at the bottom of the funnel, we create the urgency. That's where it comes in. Hurry, the prices are going up. Or the FOMO that we create over there. Only a few units left. We even go to the extent, the government is about to change. So the laws may change. So buy it before that.
Okay, so you basically retarget the already intent-based generated leads with
That's right.
influencers to nurture them down in order to create then an attraction.
Yes.
How long does from intent-based to sale normally such a customer journey or the lead take in order to close? Do you have numbers there?
Yeah, average cycle for a flat closure is about like 1.5 to 2 months. We've had cases wherein a person has come back even after 5 months. That's where our WhatsApp funnel comes into play. Like in India, WhatsApp is huge. I think WhatsApp's biggest user base is India. So we use WhatsApp funnel over there, wherein at every stage of the customer journey, they are getting a WhatsApp message. And we've had for one of our clients, Divishakti, wherein a person entered the lead, one message gone, did not reply, second message, the funnel is automated. Apparently, after like about 14 messages that guy came down for a site visit. So nurturing is auto happening, and WhatsApp funnel today is mandatory in an Indian market. Yeah. So average is about, to coming to your question, is about like 1.5 months. And it could go up to, because people tend to like, they got an appraisal on the job, they want to increase their lifestyle, upgrade their lifestyle is what I'm looking at. So they start shopping, and then at times they take about 1.5 to 2 months to decide on things. Yeah.
And you integrate certain CRM tools to WhatsApp, or how does that work technically?
So we use third-party tools like Interact, Wati. These are a few tools that we use, and the funnels are built on that. Yes. And at times we use, depends on the client's CRM. Like one of our clients uses Salesforce, another client of us uses HubSpot, the third client uses Zoho. So we use tools like Pabbly and Zapier to integrate the leads into the system, and the funnels are built on their systems.
That's interesting, because on HalloCasa we also have a Zapier integration now. But so you know the power. Do you like Zapier?
We got an alternative of Zapier called as Pabbly. It's more economical compared to Zapier. And yeah, it works. Now everything is, we have started using make.com and N8N, where a lot of the agents are doing these works for us. So yeah, Zapier it's good. Zapier is really good, but the alternatives are equally good now and more economical, honestly.
Oh, I understand that, but the concept, you are a fan of it as well. Like
Yes.
you like the idea of workflow automation, or how is that your
Love
approach?
that. Yeah, I love that approach. It's fantastic. In our podcast, I'm assuming you're using like the emails that I'm getting on the reminders. That's all automated, right? The same thing really works for a home buyer. Again, those WhatsApp messages that go, that also have a lot of psychological game behind it. If a person has come down for a site visit, what is the kind of a message that you're giving them? If it's a message is going to a woman, that's a separate message. If it's going to a man, it's a separate message. If the people have come down with the kids, it's a separate message that goes over there. So the emotion has to get triggered over there, where like when they are sitting and discussing amenities, okay, this place has a bowling alley versus this place has a kids play area, or this place has a cricket ground, this place has a basketball court. So there are different kind of amenities messages that go over there. This place has this kind of security. So one place you can, that really, and an automated message that works for us is a podium living, wherein when a person enters into the apartment, they directly go into the basement, so that the car is not on the ground floor and your kids can play safely over there. So all these messages keep triggering into it. It's called as woodpecker marketing, right? You're continuously hammering a person's brain with different kind of messages, and where it triggers is where the magic happens of conversion. And I've seen plenty of case studies on this with WhatsApp marketing, the conversions happening.
Yes, just for you to give you some context, I love the entire automation. I love it for code outreach. I love it for nurturing. The backbone of HalloCasa is basically almost fully built on auto. I don't know if auto triggering create a lot of journeys depending on what the user does.
Right.
Create profile, create upload listing, upgrade and stuff. And everything is basically smoothly, but also slightly aggressively, because I think it shouldn't be bothered, or the user should not be bothered when they get a new email, even though they don't open, but you're still like on top of their mind by being on the inbox. However, I have to admit, I've always been hesitant, or not hesitant, but I've never really gone deep on the WhatsApp messaging, because maybe it's also like on one hand, like I thought it's intrusive, and then I also thought it's not even possible. I wasn't aware of the fact that you can integrate WhatsApp Business and you're not being flagged basically by WhatsApp. Do you know
No, Meta
that?
charges you per message.
Pardon me?
Meta charges you per message that you send out. So Meta is making money out of it. So there are transactional messages and there are promotional messages. WhatsApp is making a lot of money in this. So it's officially like you get Meta verified on your Meta account. You get WhatsApp verified, and then you start sending the messages.
Okay. So it's also like a paid, okay, I understand. It's a paid method by Meta. So then, okay, I understand that. Thank you so much for all these clarification. That's very interesting. Have you heard ever that this is too aggressive and you're annoying? And also, can a user just say, hey, unsubscribe or delete or whatsoever? Like, is there any content element? For me
Yeah,
as a
so
European who is hearing GDPR every day, basically, so how does that work just to make it safe for the user? Out of curiosity.
yeah, so users get an option to unsubscribe, and they
Okay.
get an option. Is there a spam? You do not no longer need the service, or whatever it is. And then user choose an option and they unsubscribe, just like emails. It's easier to unsubscribe on WhatsApp compared to email.
Okay. Interesting. And it looks like a normal DM, a normal direct message.
Yes.
It's not like a broadcast. Yeah, probably it's a broadcast, but it looks in the end like a normal. Okay, I understand. And the campaigns you manage then via this Interact, or you manage it via different CRM and create those journeys?
No, so the journeys are created in Interact. So there are multiple companies, like Interact is one, Wati is another one. There's another Indian company called as Gupshup. And otherwise, the client, the CRM that they are using, they also have it. Like Salesforce has it. We work with a company called Anarock. Anarock is baby born out of JLL in the US, right? India's version of JLL is Anarock. We work with them. They have their fantastic CRM, and they have a WhatsApp flow within it in which you can create flows. Another big company in India is Seldo. They have interactions happening in them. So everybody has started building their own custom flows in it. Yeah.
Perfect. Very interesting. Apart from WhatsApp, what do you think are other channels which you think right now are quite hot, especially for the Indian market?
Primarily for lead generation, it is Meta and Google. Google has got better results compared to Meta, and getting people on the landing page and having them fill the form on the landing page always works better compared to the instant forms on Meta, because the intent of the leads is pretty high. And YouTube is doing phenomenal. YouTube works really great. Another thing what we have been doing is we started giving out lead magnets even for the real estate clients to get the leads, wherein do not buy a house in Hyderabad until you read this, right? So a cost of lead which we were getting at like about 1,000 rupees, which is about like $10 to $12, is down to one to $1.5, just because instead of a real estate ad, we are giving a free ebook to them. And in the lead form, we ask them the questions: Are you interested in buying this property? When do you plan to visit? Coming out for a site visit and all of it. But we are getting leads at $2, $1.5, and all of it, right? Compared to a $10, $12.
And then obviously, probably this cycle takes a bit longer because they are not as, let's say, convinced yet. They're more like,
Yeah.
how do you call it, like window shopping for that time being, or
No,
so
so when they are submitting the lead, we ask them the question: Are you interested in buying this property? Yes or a no? When do you plan to have a site visit? And is it okay if our telecalling team calls you and gives you details on the project? And they mention a yes or a no. So we still vet them over there. Obviously, it's not as hot a lead as a direct, but we did a lot of research on this and we did a lot of A/B testing on it. And we've been doing it for the last 11 months right now. We implemented this, and a cost per site visit, which is coming at like 25,000 rupees, has come down to 7,000 rupees. So,
yeah.
so it's still 3.54x cheaper, and it's working really well there.
Normally, there's always this saying the buying real estate purchase is being conducted within, I don't know, 1 kilometer of radius, like very hyper local. Do you see the trend there as well? Do you go like on very hyper local targeting, or do you see also more and more coming trend to say, because Hyderabad is still affordable, that people say, okay, I'm going for a second house or I'm going to buy somewhere else because I can't afford it in the town or in the city or in the metropolis where I'm living?
1 kilometer or a 1 mile radius is no longer applicable for a market like Hyderabad because of I was telling you, the ORR, the outer ring road, and the IRR, the inner ring road. With that coming into place, people don't mind driving like 30-40 minutes because they get a flat in Shankarpalli and they go and work in financial district. It's like a 25-30 minute drive for them, and they save a big buck on the house. And the roads are smooth because it's like a 8-lane road, and it's easy to reach and no traffic congestions and all. So yeah.
Keyword personal branding for real estate agents. Do you understand or do you see the same trend which I'm seeing, that real estate agents are getting more and more aware of the importance of personal branding? Is that the same trend in India, or is it still only very transactional based?
Michael, there's a huge opportunity in India for this. It's a very unorganized market right now. A few of them are doing it, the personal branding, but where the market is unorganized is where the opportunity is. That's what the Indian market is for real estate agents. It's not an organized market. People don't trust a lot of people. Anybody and everybody becomes a real estate agent. A street hawker knows there's some property selling behind, he will claim himself to be a real estate agent out here. The market is so unorganized, and there's a huge opportunity in it.
Dhiraj, I really appreciate the conversation with you. You taught us a lot. First and foremost, thank you so much for giving us an overview of Hyderabad, of the market there, of the affordability, or affordability sounds cheap, but like the very strong potential still in
Right.
investing, and in also the strong economics, the power of the corporations being there. You also
Right.
mentioned the startup scene and therefore also the strong brain power of the entire society. You also mentioned the entire, your vast experience and knowledge of marketing and digital marketing. You know where we're coming from, you know where we're going, you're super operational, which I love. Sometimes you talk with people and they're like already on a different, they're already on Mars. They're not like in the trenches anymore. And you can really feel that how detailed you are still operating. Thank you so much for also giving us the overview regarding the WhatsApp and those details. I'm always curious about those automation elements and what's possible.
Right.
Is there anything else you would like to mention which we haven't touched upon?
We pretty much touched most of, just bring it to a closure. I would just tell you need to embrace digital. Your audience is online. Don't need to just sell square footage. You need to sell dreams to people, and use content and video and storytelling. Do personal branding because it's all about building trust. It's not about one sale. It's about getting referrals and building a personal brand of yours out there. And stay updated. Market keeps changing, the dynamics keep changing. Always be in the buyer's mindset and keep the tech evolving, and just go with the flow. Yeah.
Perfect. Irash, how can people reach out to you? How can they contact you?
My website is digitalmojo.in, and that's where we have a contact form, and they can get in touch with me on that. Yeah.
Perfect. I'll put definitely this one into the show notes. Thank you so much. One more time, I'm saying the best regards to Hyderabad, and yeah, have a good afternoon.
Hey, thank you, Michael. Appreciate your time too. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Good
Bye.
luck.
This video is brought to you by HalloCasa. Our tool transforms independent local real estate agents to global real estate agents. Create your own profile for free and get contacted by international investors. Sign up with the link in the description.